Hey, welcome back to Six Pack Garage, Phoenix, Arizona. So today I'm working on my 2011 GLK 350 again. She has 225,000 miles. I'm doing the motor mounts. I've got a vibration and don't really know what else it could be. I've done these once before, it's been a few years, but I went with the more expensive brand last time, and it seems like not long after I did that, it still had a vibration, especially when cold. When it's really hot in the summer, no problems. It's pretty smooth, but when it's cooler out, it does tend to have a vibration, and it's really annoying. So this time I went with some cheap Amazon motor mounts. I figured I tried the good ones, didn't really serve me that well, so I'm gonna roll the dice on the cheap ones. Let's see what happens. Stay tuned. So luckily my Benz is two-wheel drive. I've heard that the four-wheel drive version is a real pain. This isn't fun either, but it's easier. I've done it once, so I'm kind of know what I'm doing here. As you can see, there's no room. It's really tight quarters, so you end up needing, extensions, all the right tools. And I'll show you the tool. I actually made a tool, but you can purchase the tools off of either eBay or Amazon or whatever. It's a specialty kind of little wrench that you kind of need for this. If you don't, leave me a comment. Let me know how you did it, but this is how I do it. So hopefully this will help you if you need to do the motor mounts yourself. Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to show you the tool that I made. So you can buy these, eBay or Amazon, I think, but it's basically a 16 millimeter kind of an offset. So what I did is I sacrificed a random 3/8 socket, doesn't matter what size, and I cut off the end of a closed end 16 millimeter wrench. Kind of figured out the length I needed because there's no room to get a socket or a wrench, and even if you got a wrench you wouldn't be able to turn it. So this way, for the motor mount bolts, you can put this in here, put an extension on here, and from above you can get short turns out of it. It sucks, it's really a pain, but and excuse my welds, my welder was on the wrong setting and I was in a hurry, so no excuses, I guess, but the shitty welds, they held, they're just ugly. But anyways, you need this to get this job done. Okay, jacking points in this, at your own risk. Don't do what I do, but do whatever you know, you think is right, but there's a pad up down here where you put your jack. I like to use 2 jacks, one on each side. That way you can jack it up evenly. Plus my car's lowered, so it just seems like it's easier that way. But here's where I put my jack stands. It's where the lower control arm mount is. So it kind of grabs each side. I just got lucky that my jack stand fits that way. But I figure if that cross member that was strong enough to hold, you know, the lower control arm bolt, then it should be strong enough to hold the weight of the vehicle. I also always leave the jacks, my hydraulic jacks, kind of pumped up, so in case something stupid happens with one of my jack stands, then I've got backup on both sides. So, but I've got the weight of the car on those, and these are just barely, there's barely any pressure here. But again, this is not professional advice here. This is just how I do it. This doesn't have like a regular frame, so it's kind of hard to find a place to put your jack stands. So that's one way to do it. I take the heat shield bolts on. It's an E12. So I've got a long extension with an E12 socket, and the other one's underneath. I'll get my hand in there. I think there's just one more underneath on the side. Now on the 2-wheel drive, you can go through the hole in the spindle where the axle would be for the 4-wheel drive and kind of get your hand in there, but 4-wheel drive, yeah, good luck. Okay, I'm on the passenger side. So there's it's actually a E10 down here. The top one's a 12. So I've got a 3/8 in here, and see where the starter is? This is why you must disconnect the negative battery cable, because if you touch that with your ratchet or any tool and ground that out, on a Benz, they're extremely sensitive to short circuits, and you can create an absolute nightmare for yourself. So please, you know, do yourself a favor. Disconnect the negative battery cable before you start doing this job. Okay, so yeah, I'll get that out. The other side, it's a little tougher. There's not as much room. Like the passenger side, I've got all kinds of room. And here's that hole in the spindle. So normally the 4-wheel drive shaft goes through there, but like I can stick my hand through here and on the other side. And you know, you got to get to this bolt and that bolt, and then there's a bolt. Once you take this heat shield off, there's a bolt underneath that bolts this to the motor. And yeah, I'll have to, once I take that off and get ready, I'll probably jack it up, jack up the engine a little bit just to take the load off of it. But yeah, this is what you got to look forward to. And yeah, I'll come back in a minute. Okay, I lied. They are, sorry, landscapers outside making noise, but they are E10s. I thought the top one was a 12, but it just had to kind of wiggle that on there. But yeah, that's what the heat shield looks like. So that's, we got to be out of the way, and then you can have access to the top bolt on the motor mount. Okay, so here is why you need that tool. So you can't really get anything else in here on top of that motor mount, right? I mean, shit, you can't even see the bolt. But I'm gonna get that in there. Yep, I think I got it. No, I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but I might have got it. Hold on. So I got the top 16 millimeter bolt loose, which you can't see right now. Now I'm getting the 13 millimeter. There's one on each side, one there, and one that I've got my tool on. Now, I couldn't find a 3/8 drive 13 millimeter for the life of me, but I've got a million 1/4 inch drive. So it's kind of an ugly setup with a bunch of reducers, but it's actually a 1/4 inch extension, 1/4 inch universal, 1/4 inch 13 millimeter down there, and shockingly these bolts came loose. So just turning those out. Little tech tip for you. You don't actually need e-Torx sockets. Little known fact is you can use, like for this is like a E10, 8 millimeter 12 point fits on it perfectly. And it holds true for pretty much all the e-Torx that I've ever worked with. So if you're in a pinch, don't have the right tools, but you have some 12 point metrics, that's all you need. Good to go. Okay, sorry if this is blurry. So you can see I'm sticking my hand through the hole in the frame here because this is two-wheel drive. My phone's not really focusing because there's like a little hole where I've had my lens, but I've got an 8 millimeter 12 point wrench on the E10 bolt that holds the heat shield on, and this is how I'm doing it. So there might be different ways, but as you can see, the steering shaft is right in the way. You can't even really get your hands in here other than through this hole where the a hole in the frame where the axle would be for the four-wheel drive. So yeah, I'm getting baby turns out of this thing, just maybe quarter turn at a time, but it's working. Just the driver's side is a bigger pain than the passenger to access. So okay, it's almost done here. All right, so here's the old ones. I was able to wiggle them out of there. I already kind of loosened these rubber or silicone rubber covers. But visually, typically when you have a bad motor mount, it'll just, you can tell the rubber is worn out. Okay. I can't tell, like, just by looking at these and feeling it, like it feels like they're good. But here's the new one. So the difference is, hopefully you can see it on camera. This is, I guess I should have set this shot up a little better, but okay. So you look at the height difference. See how much that one's sticking out versus that one? So I think that's where the issue is. Like, whatever is cushioning that, the rubber that's cushioning that and keeping it up at a higher elevation has over time compressed itself. So I guess I'll see once I get it back together, but that's really the only difference I notice, is just that height difference, and they're both like that. So both of the old ones are like way lower here. Like this part here is way lower. So that's the difference. We'll see what happens. Okay, I just want to show you how I'm jacking the engine up. Just put a piece of 2x4, and you really, like, don't try to jack up the engine until you've loosened up both of the top motor mount bolts. So that way you're just not putting pressure, on your oil pan for no reason. So it's not going to move much until you loosen those bolts as much as possible. Okay, so just to be transparent, I do screw up sometimes, and somehow, I guess, I had this driver's side mount in there and must not have had the bolt on straight. It's really hard to get your hand in there and even see what's going on. But I buggered up the threads on the mount. They're just cheap. The bolt is fine. And then, so what I did is ran to the store, it's a 10 millimeter by 1.5 pitch tap, and I just ran it through. I already did it. Just ran it through to clean up the threads so that the bolt goes in straight and properly. So no big deal. It was kind of a hassle. You know, I had to run to the store and all that. So, but anyways, all is good now. Bolt goes in there now, no problem. Yeah, it's just passenger side is more of a hassle. It's just really hard to get in there. Anyways, all good now. Okay, so on the driver's side, I put the top bolt on first, and I lifted the engine up quite a bit to get it in there, but you know, the bracket's slotted, so you can kind of, you know, put the bolt on ahead of time, hang it there, and then I'm gonna lower it slowly, and then get it into those little locators for the main mounting bolts. So I did this one a little different than the passenger side. Passenger side, I put the top bolt on after I already had the mount in place. All right. Okay, so I got the mount dropped in place. It fell right into the right spot because it's got these little locating cones on the mount. So now I'm going to drop the bolts in, and I'm using a magnetic telescoping, like a telescoping magnet. If you don't have one of these, get one. They're great. So I can kind of just get the bolt in the right spot. I'm going to try to get my hands in there and just turn them in by hand. Sorry, it just won't focus on it. Well, definitely a lot smoother. I'm not feeling any vibrations. Much better. I think it's fixed for now, knock on wood. Well, I'm definitely happy with the Amazon cheap motor mounts. They're great. Smooth as butter. I used to be able to feel the headlight vibrating, but now it's smooth. So definitely a thumbs up for me. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.